Holes in our heads. The ancient and possibly current practice of trepanation or trepanning. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. Welcome to the Gospel Truth program. So glad to have you here. Been a little bit of a light day of broadcasting today. I apologize for that, but sometimes you have to help your mother out, and sometimes you just have to take a little bit of a break. Ladies and gentlemen, what in the world is trepanning? What in the world is trepanation? Well, let me give you a little look at what I prepared for you. Doctors and clergymen, trepanning and the stone of madness. Doctors and clergymen love us so much. They love us so much that the doctors would poke holes in our heads and the church would stand by and offer their blessings. Ancient practice, brutal practice. I find it interesting that it looks like there's a modern city up here almost, even though this is obviously an ancient practice. Is that a nod to the fact that such a thing may in fact still be going on? And here's a big church. Tell me that doesn't look like a modern city. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is interesting. I didn't even notice that until right now. What is trepanning, and why am I making a video about it? Well, let me tell you, it's very interesting. It's very worrisome. Trepanning, also known as trepanation, was making a burr hole, a surgical intervention in which a hole is drilled or scraped into the human skull. Allegedly, it was done to expose the dura mater to treat health problems related to intracranial diseases or release blood buildup from an energy or from an inner, what can I say, injury, from an injury. Can you imagine such a thing? It's referred to any hole created through other body surfaces, including nail beds, to relieve pressure beneath a surface. Now, in ancient times, holes were drilled into a person who was behaving in what other people thought was a way that indicated that they were possessed by evil spirits. McGraw-Hill Education, 2014, Abnormal Psychology. So, ladies and gentlemen, the church, working with doctors, used to drill holes in people's heads because they thought they were possessed with evil spirits. And believe it or not, since the dawn of human religion, even into Neolithic times, cave paintings indicate that people believed that trepanning could cure seizures, migraines, and mental disorders. That's crazy. The bone that was cut out many times is kept and worn as a charm to keep evil spirits away. Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that is crazy. There's a burial site in France dated to 6500 BC. 40 of 120 skulls had trepanation holes. More than 1,500 trephine skulls from the Neolithic period. About 10% of all Stone Age skulls have been uncovered throughout the world. Europe, Siberia, China, the Americas. Most of them belong to adult males. Some women and children are represented. Evidence suggests that they were carried out to bring back to life prominent members of the hunting group who were thought to be dead and could be made undead by opening the skull, according to the primitive conception of death. So it was a magical attempt to revive people, which would explain why they mainly are trying to revive the skilled, talented, stronger hunters, which would have been the men My question is, were they ever successful in bringing people back? And it would suggest that if they're doing it to that many people, then why were they doing it to so many people if it was never successful? It's also found in pre-Columbian Mesoamerica, which means the Middle Americas. Crazy. Found in pre-modern Europe. And, of course, in the modern era, there was lobotomies. But here's the thing I really want to think about. Even though religion used to cut holes in our heads, even though the doctors used to help the religious people cut holes in our heads, of course, we're far beyond that today, aren't we? We'd never do such a thing. Well, is that true or is it true? I can't help but wonder if the practice of trepanning is still going on today, but it's going on chemically. Are they trepanning holes in our heads by poisoning the food that we eat? Are they putting holes in our heads, trepanning holes in our heads by the water that we drink? Are they trepanning holes in our heads through the air that we breathe? And are you involved in a slow trepanning, a slow boring of a burr hole in your own skull every time you go through the drive-through? Eat fast and die young with a hole drilled in your head. Are they drilling energetic holes in our heads? 5G, all of this various and sundry electronic warfare, trepannation, not trepidation. Are they drilling holes in our heads energetically? MK Ultra, Tavistock, things like that. I don't think that the trepanning has ended. I think that they've just changed tactics. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that we need to be as vigilant as ever. Now, that doesn't mean we walk around in fear. That doesn't mean we walk around in loathing. That doesn't mean we walk around in dread. But it does mean that we stop drinking tap water. It does mean that we start drinking distilled water if we're very smart. It does mean that we go right now, as soon as this broadcast is finished, and we throw our microwave away. It means we stop going through the drive-thrus. It means we stop eating pre-processed foods. It means we stop eating garbage. It means we stop drinking some of the things that we drink. It means we stop smoking some of the things we smoke. And yes, order a Mistec ban would help. It means that we stop doing some of the things we do. We stop watching some of the things we watch. We stop watching the volume of things we watch. We stop talking with as much volume, and I don't mean by sound, but I mean the amount of time you spend on a cell phone. It's time for us to take responsibility and to realize that the doctors still love us so much, that the clergymen still love us so much, and is not religious mind control, trepanation, is not the fear and guilt control matrix, trepanning, Because what is a fear and guilt control matrix based on? Passiveness, acquiescence, assimilation. And that is exactly what Trepanning did. And that's exactly what modern Abrahamic religious dogma does as well. It's exactly what the modern Western education system does. It's exactly what the Western employment sector paradigm does. We're signing up for our own Trepanning today. We're signing up for our own Trepanning today. We're sitting down in the hole saying, proceed, sir. Go ahead. Drill a hole in my head. I acquiesce. I give in. I surrender. Think about that next time you jam earbuds into your ear. Think about that next time you go through the drive-through. Think about that next time you have another dinner in a sack, a 99-cent heart attack. Think about that next time you buy something that's in a box. Think about that next time you eat something that is full of GMO, full of MSG, that's highly processed. Think about that. I see we have a country music fan in the crowd. Think about that. Next time you go to sleep with headphones on or earphones in, bad idea. Think about that next time you don't turn off your 5G at night. When you don't turn off your Wi-Fi at night, why not turn it off? I unplug mine every night. Helps your equipment. Shut down your computer. Turn off your, somebody says Dollar Tree food is designed to eliminate poor people and create stupid people and create zombie people. Ladies and gentlemen, I do identify problems. I do identify dangers, but I always make sure that I identify solutions. I got on the internet, and within about 15 minutes, I found a restaurant less than 3 miles from my house that provides locally sourced, organic meals that are delicious for $11 a meal. That's all I eat. It's a battle of wills. Do you have the will to do it? Or would you rather just have a hole being drilled in your head slowly but surely? Trepanning. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the church, the doctors, they love you so much. The church, the doctors, they really love you so much. Trepanning and the Stone of Madness. That's what Trepanning was. It pulled out what they call the Stone of Madness. What's the Stone of Madness today? The Stone of Madness is that part of us that says, no, we won't go along with your program. No, we won't go along with your religious program. No, we won't go along with your educational program. No, we won't go along with your social program. No, we won't go along with your financial program. No, we will not be assimilated. We will retain our stones of madness, and we will not be drilled. Guy, what are you trying to say? If you have to ask me that, maybe you've already got a hole drilled in your head. It's up to you. They're trying to screw you. Screw a hole in your head. Are you going to sign up for it and do it yourself? It's up to you, ladies and gentlemen. Only you can be your own guru. Only you can guide your own spirit. Only you can master your own ascension. Only you can ask questions. Only you can question answers. We are in the unindoctrinating business. And cousin, business is a booming. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, encouraging you to unindoctrinate yourself.